The Magnificent Battle, Merlin, Arthur's Court, and the Mistress of Time by The Magus. Read by The Magus. Chapter 16, Shelter from the Storm. "Why does Papa," that is, the kid's grandfather, "do this to us?" asked Fergus. "Do you think it's Papa who sends us to these places?" responded Damon. "I don't know, but we end up in these strange places only when we go to visit at the farm, where Papa has all those weird pictures of castles, ruins, stained glass, and knights. That's where this all begins every time," replied Fergus. "Who knows? We will have to ask him about it when we get back. That is, if we get back," Damon concluded. "But for now, we've got lots to do. We've got to try to figure out where we are and where the girls are, and even if they are here." "Yeah, but before we do that, we've got to try to find out how we can survive in these woods," Mikel said. "I went to survival camp last summer," Fergus said. "I know how to build a shelter and find water and food." "Oh boy, that's just what I want. A hut made of saplings and tree leaves, and some grubs for lunch," Damon groused. "Hey, grubs can be pretty tasty if you cook them on a rock on an open flame," Fergus replied, somewhat defensively. The sky, which had been clear, blue, and beautiful earlier, had quickly become dull and gray. Now a chill wind blew, and soon it began to rain, with large drops of water falling on the boys from the canopy of trees above. "You guys can worry about grubs later. Right now, let's find some shelter from the rain," Mikel said. "Hey, look up there," Fergus said, pointing toward what appeared to be a rocky overhang. "Maybe we can get out of the rain and away from these crazy sword-swinging knights and those guys who are trying to kill us." Mikel scurried up under the rock overhang into a dry space and called for the others to join him. "Thank goodness we're out of the rain," Mikel said. "Yes," Damon said. "I was about to get soaked." "And I'm cold," Fergus said. "Let's build a fire. Everybody gather firewood before it gets too wet to burn." "Good idea," Mikel said as he began picking up twigs and sticks. Yes, a fire seemed like a good idea on a rainy day, but it might not have been. Fires have been known to attract things to them, both human and mythical. Some of them the boys might want to meet, and then again, some they might not. Soon Fergus' survival training proved itself, and soon he had a crackling fire. The boys gathered whatever dry leaves they could find and sat down beside the fire to enjoy the warmth and plan their next moves. Unfortunately, none of them could come up with an idea. "Hey, I hear something," Fergus said. "Probably your stomach growling," Damon said. "You're always hungry." "No, listen," Fergus said. The boys sat quietly, totally confused by their surroundings. "I hear it," Mikel said. "What is it?" Damon asked. "Just dogs," Mikel replied. He shifted a moss-covered rock that he had made into a pillow. He wondered to himself if he could take a nap and exchange this bad dream that he seemed to be having for something more pleasant. "No, there's something else," said Damon. He listened intently and heard something rustling through the leaves and bushes of the woods. "It seems to be coming this way." "What if it is some kind of poison dragon or dinosaur? What if we're back in the time of the dinosaurs? We don't know where we may be in time. Maybe it's some kind of griffin or satyr or saber-toothed tiger or maybe a cave bear." "What do you think this is? The Flintstones?" "Quiet down," Damon said, not wanting to add to the anxiety he was already feeling about their surroundings. "Be quiet, and maybe it will go away." The boys sat intently but silently in the hopes that whatever it might be lurking in the woods, waiting to devour them, would go the other way. But from the sound of the rustling leaves, it only seemed to get closer. "Since you two are taking Taekwondo, why don't you get ready to fight? If it's a cave bear, you might at least be able to punch it in the nose before it makes a sandwich out of us," Fergus suggested. "Hush," Mikel said to Fergus, as quietly as he could. The rustling of leaves kept coming closer. Mikel looked around and found some rocks. He gave one of them to Damon and one to Fergus. The sound got closer, but still they could see nothing in dense undergrowth beyond the campfire. "Don't throw your rock, but hold it in your hand and use it to hit the thing. If you throw it and miss, you won't have any kind of weapon. At least if you keep it in your hand, you'll have some kind of weapon. I'll go to the left. Damon, you go to the right. Fergus, you hit the thing in the nose. Got it?" "Yes," Fergus said, with his teeth chattering with fear. Closer and closer the thing came. The boys saw the bushes shake as it approached. "This is it," Mikel said, as it rounded the side of their opening in the rocks. "Get ready."